If you have questions about the new HUD Secretary's letter on criminal history, you're not the only one. So let's talk about it. I'm Leslie Tucker with the Fair Housing Institute. So, for those of you who don't know, HUD Secretary Turner issued a letter on November 25th attempting to better define HUD's position on criminal history screening. And in doing so, HUD has rescinded 3 notices that were published by previous administrations addressing criminal history policies. And chances are that whatever your policy looks like right now, it was probably written and implemented based on these previous memos or guidance. Those are the ones from 2015, 2016, and 2022. Those particular memos emphasized how criminal history records, they disproportionately impacted certain demographic groups. They prohibited denials based on arrest records. They prohibited blanket policies, and they required your policies to be relevant to achieve a legitimate business interest. HUD emphasizes in this letter, this particular secretary's letter, which is specifically directed at housing authorities and other HUD-subsidized housing, that it believes that you, the housing provider, should have broader discretion in using an applicant's history of criminal activity. And I say that in quotes, history of criminal activity, when you make decisions about applicants. This HUD administration believes that these previous notices basically hindered your ability to do that and had a chilling effect. So now that these notices are no longer effective, what does that mean for you? Which is probably what you're all asking yourselves. Honestly, it really doesn't have to mean anything different than what you're doing now. This letter does remind you of the federal regulations that are already in place regarding criminal screening. And I'm talking about things like being evicted from federally subsidized housing, being on the sex offender registry, right? Those things. That has not changed, and that will still be enforced just like it has been. But other than those requirements, which again have already existed, HUD doesn't issue any additional mandates or requirements related to your policy. It's essentially putting you on notice that you may be able to get away with a stricter screening policy, at least with HUD. Whether courts would find stricter policies to be acceptable, right, has yet to be seen. And I guess we will probably find out going forward. But please be aware that those of you who are located and operate housing in states, counties, or cities that have passed additional laws related to criminal history screening, you are bound by those. You cannot stop just using those because HUD has, loosened its grip on criminal history screening records. So be aware of that. And those are kind of my take on this new letter. If you have questions, please reach out to your counsel.